Decimation, the most brutal punishment of the Roman army, 471 BC. Roman territory trembled as the Volsci, a fierce Italic tribe, marched to invade. The Romans mobilized their forces under their general, Appius Claudius Sabinus, to confront the enemy. But beneath the armor and discipline of the Roman army was a storm brewing. The soldiers despised their general. His harshness, arrogance, and disdain for his men had turned loyalty into hatred. As the two armies faced off, an unthinkable moment of defiance occurred. The Roman soldiers refused to fight. They stood still, their shields lowered, as if paralyzed by their contempt for their leader. Volsci saw their hesitation and struck. Like a thunderclap, they charged, their war cries echoing across the battlefield. Chaos erupted. Roman lines crumbled under the pressure. Soldiers fled in panic, throwing down their weapons and abandoning their standards, the sacred symbols of Roman honor. For any Roman army, losing the standards was the ultimate disgrace. This wasn't just a military defeat. It was a humiliation. Appius Claudius, watching from a distance, was seething. For him, the retreat wasn't just cowardice, it was treason. He wasted no time. As the remnants of the shattered Roman army regrouped, he unleashed a punishment so severe it would echo through the ages: decimation, a punishment where every 10th man in a cohort was chosen by lot and executed. But there was a cruel twist. The executions weren't carried out by executioners. The men were forced to kill their own comrades. Brothers in arms had to take up the sword against their fellow soldiers. Imagine the scene. The soldiers stood in silence as lots were drawn. Each man stared at the small stones, praying not to be chosen. When a name was called, the fear and horror in their faces told the story of their shattered morale. Those selected dropped to their knees, pleading, as their comrades, men they had fought beside for years, carried out the brutal punishment. The survivors watched, too terrified to intervene. The ground ran red with the blood of their own. But why such brutality? Appius Claudius believed that only fear could restore discipline. To him, the unity of the army was more important than the lives of individuals. By making an example out of the disobedient, he ensured that no soldier would ever dare to disobey again. Or so he thought. Decimation wasn't just about punishment, it was psychological warfare. The surviving soldiers, traumatized and broken, knew one thing. In the Roman army, failure was not an option. The message was clear: fight for Rome or die by Rome's hand. Yet this moment of terror wasn't just a lesson for that day. It became a legend, passed down through Roman history. Decimation was used sparingly, but its shadow loomed over every Roman soldier. It was a reminder of the iron will of the generals and the unyielding discipline that built the Roman Empire.